Ooh, ooh. That was me after my big shopping at VKL. Ooh, ooh. Hello, fabulous fiber friends. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Karen and I am your host. OMG. I don't even know where to begin for Vogue Knitting Live New York 10th anniversary. It was beyond the beyond. It was just so exciting, and many of you may have already seen the short video collage I did. And as usual, I didn't get all the pictures with all the people that I wanted to. You guys, I'm not good at selfies, and frankly, I think I smile too broadly, my eyes get all squinched up, and I'm just not a good selfie person. I have to learn how to get better at, the angles, what's the best angle for a selfie. I want to give out a shout out to a few people that I met in person finally. We have Bermuda Beth, hello Bermuda Beth, and Tanya and Lisa, a California gal, an LA gal that we have actually, we've always missed each other at local events. So we finally got to meet in person and hug at VKL in New York, and so that was great. And there was another Lisa, Connie, Charlotte, and Trish. And Trish, a special hug to you. So many people. Edna, this wonderful young woman, Edna. She was very sweet. I saw her at a fashion show. We stood next to each other. So hello, Edna. And Nina. And Michelle with your super fabulous knit collage cardigan. It was so, so gorgeous. I love the colors you chose. That was really, really great. And I hope I don't miss anyone. I really apologize. It's so overwhelming, and meeting everyone is so wonderful. And I don't want to miss anyone's name. Oh my God, there were so many fabulous people. And thank you so much. It was wonderful to meet people in person and give hugs. And Joan and I met at the flash mob, so it was great to see her again. If you ever have the chance, make the trip. It is so worth it. It is crowded. If you're not good in crowds, it may not be the place for you, but only on Saturday morning. It's really, really busy Saturday morning, and even Friday night. The marketplace opens on Friday night, and it's crowded beyond belief, but not horribly so. And Saturday is really busy. I mean, you're sort of like shuffling along. It's very difficult to move. Because there's so many people, so it's a little tough to see everything, but you do see everybody. And so if that kind of crowd is a little too daunting for you or makes you a little claustrophobic, and actually I'm not always good in big crowds. I get a little claustrophobic feeling and anxious, and so sometimes I had to go in the back. VKL, they provide water station, so you go back and it's a little quiet there and you can just hang out. And there is a space up on the 7th floor, a quiet room where you can go and relax. So if you're feeling at all anxious with the crowds, you can, just split the coop for a few minutes and unwind. But otherwise, it was just so wonderful. If you ever go to VKL, Mayak, check and see if they're having an event in the West Village. And it's a fabulous event, and Mayak has the most beautiful, stunning yak yarns and cashmeres, and they're so lovely and soft. And so they hosted an event, and Jen Steingass was there. She had done a lot of her pattern designs were in Mayak yarn. So I purchased some Mayak yarn, which I'll show you guys later. So I got some yarn to do the silver lining yoke sweater from Jen Steingass, and I'm checking to see what the Yorkie's doing, my little bows on. And then Friday, hung out. I went and watched part of the setup. Everyone was setting up, so I stopped by and I saw Stephanie from Asylum Fibers, and I went to Lady Di Yarns. My friend Claudia from Crochet Luna was helping out Diane at Lady Di Yarns, and Corrado was there. It was just really nice just to kind of watch everyone setting up and the before and after, and then once the event is ready to go, oh my gosh, you know, the lights, the glitz, the bling, the everything. It was just really great. Kaleidoscope fashion show took place Friday night. If you have not seen it, definitely check out Brooklyn Boy Knits, his Instagram feed, and he will have a link. I think he has a link to the Kaleidoscope fashion show, which is available on YouTube. You can look on YouTube as well. The fashion show, Lewis and all of his group that put together the fashion show did a phenomenal job. The designers were unbelievable, very fashion forward, very fashion forward. It was really just so impressed. I was so impressed. I felt like I was at Fashion Week, even though I've never been to a Fashion Week. I had the sense, the music, you know, the gasping from the designs that were so stunning. It was, I hope that this becomes a regular event. So Lewis, I hope you keep this up because you guys did a great job. So Sunday, I texted Penny. I said, I'm going over. I'm going down. So I ran over. I was staying across the street, so I went to the marketplace Sunday and just went crazy. And then I had no idea how I was going to pack my suitcase. I took one carry-on bag, partially because I don't like waiting for my bag at baggage claim, and I was only there really 3 full days, so it didn't make sense to take a whole extra bag, even though I would love to have done so that I could have all the shoes, all the boots, all the outfits, but I don't like traveling so heavily. So my carry-on bag, I was stuffing things in there like nobody's business and pushing and sitting on it to try to get all my purchases in, and I did. Whew, that worked out. But I was carrying everything though. It was just such a, oh my gosh, schlepping, it was heavy time. So you must put this on your bucket list. And will I go again next year? Well, so that was my second year. My second time to VKL in New York, and will I go next year? I hope so. Bows on. Mommy has to do show and tell, so you're going to have to get down for a moment. So, in this lovely Frida Kahlo bag, Katie, thank you so much for your lovely workmanship here. I will insert all Katie's information in her Etsy shop so that any of you who want to check out her project bags, you can do that. I love Frida Kahlo. I've been a Frida Kahlo fan for 30 years maybe. A friend that I worked with years ago, back when I worked in film and television, she is originally from Mexico City, and she's an artist, and she loved Frida Kahlo, and so she turned me on to Frida Kahlo, and I read a lot of books about Frida and her life. And actually, when my husband and I were in Brooklyn last April for an event in New York, we went to the Brooklyn Museum because they had an exhibit of Frida Kahlo's, some of her garments and things. So, yeah, so I love Frida. So I'm digging my Frida bag, and right now it is not holding a project, but it is holding lots of goodies that I purchased. I told myself, don't buy anything. I have enough. And I was good until Sunday, the very last day. Then I went hog wild. So, well, actually, one day, Saturday, I think, I bought from Asylum Fibers. These are the cutest little progress keepers and stitch marker. Oh, I guess they're both progress keepers. Let me show you those. And they are so cute. I think this was after the Mad Hatter or something. And these are so darling. I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist them. They're so cute. So, I have, from Asylum Fibers, you guys, that headband that I made, the hot pink one, I just love it. And so I want to make another one in this colorway. I don't know if I'm going to keep it for me or for my husband. This one is called Playing Cards. So it's black and white and red. And for any of you that are interested, go to my Ravelry projects page, and I have notes on the headband. I did not follow a pattern. I just made something up. So I think I might make this one a little narrower than the other one. But I love headbands, and I know your hair gets a little poofed up, so, which I know one day I thought, I don't care if I've, you know, with headbands, sometimes the hair will mush up in the middle. Who cares? The headbands are so cool. They're just too groovy. So that was from Stephanie at Asylum Fibers. And what else did I buy? Oh, you guys. Christy Glass had on a beautiful crochet, I think it's called Zigzag or Zigzag Interrupted. I will put that information below. It was a beautiful crochet scarf. I guess scarf, because she wore it really, she made it really long and wrapped it a couple times and let the tails just hang down. It was so beautiful. And Christy said she used Advent minis to make it, and it was so pretty. So I thought, I'm going to start collecting minis, because I've never really collected minis because I didn't know what to do with them, and I guess color work. So I got a bunch of minis from Stephanie at Asylum Fibers. I went a little crazy. So I have some minis. And, oh, I have my little Asylum Fibers, another pin. And set everything off to the side. Let's see, what else? Oh, and then these I found, you guys, right? You know how much I love teals and hot pinks. So here we go with, right, more teals and hot pinks. And the dyer's name is, I think, Done Roving Yarn. I will put it below. Unfortunately, there's not a little tag on these, but this is the dyer who I'm waiting for the yarn for the big poncho that looks like stained glass, that's going to be super fabulous and probably challenging. But I thought, okay, so those are some of my minis. Then, let's see, do I have any other minis? Then, oh my gosh, I went to Lola Bean's booth, and she wasn't there right at the time. I mean, I saw her, and she was there with Gigi and Danny, and they were all hanging out. But at the moment that I was purchasing, I was going crazy spending. I went to the booth, and Gigi's daughter, Shelby, was there, and she helped me out, and she was so sweet. Oh my gosh. I said, oh, you're Gigi's daughter, Shelby. Hi, my name is Karen. And she hugged me right away. I mean, just so darling, just like her mother. Super, super sweet. And so I bought these two skeins. Not sure what I'm going to do with them. Here's your little logo. They may actually, even though they're full skeins, I may, oh, well, you know what? Penny, my little friend Penny, she has a sock crank. So what I may do is send these to her, because I do not have the patience to make socks, you guys. I wish I did, but I don't. So Penny, she said if I send her some yarn and tell her exactly what I want, so these might become really groovy socks. So I'm not sure yet, okay? But the colors are so pretty and the yarn is so soft, I had to get them. So that's from Lola Bean. Thank you, Lola Bean. Then, Lady Dye Yarns and Claudia at Lady Dye Yarns, Claudia of Crochet Luna, they were doing this really cool thing where you create your own colorway. So you took two different skeins, and for me, I wanted to do something kind of radical. And they're a little bit out of my color wheel, but not the green so much. And this is pink, but it's really more salmon. But these, and so this is create my own colorway, right? And so you just wrap it up, right? And there is my colorway. So I have no idea what I'm going to do with all of these beauties, but they will work their way into some project. So thank you so much, Diana from Lady Dye Yarns. And she too, Diane. Well, Claudia, we know, because I've talked about Claudia, because she's my buddy here, and we have done some things in the LA area together. But I met Diane for the first time, and she is just sweet as everyone is, right, you guys? Everyone is so sweet, and Diane was very nice. And Diane is going to be, I believe she will be at Stitches in Santa Clara next month, and so I will see her again, and all my buddies. Then I have from Rowan Yarns, and this is really great for those of you that live in cold climates. This is good for, you know, your spring and summer weather, and for those of us in warmer climates, this yarn is Summer Light DK, and of course teal, sort of a teal, a blue. And so this is 100% Egyptian cotton, so I'm really looking forward to trying this out. I'm debating if I'm going to make maybe like a tank for the summer, or if I'll just do a very loosey-goosey, airy spring, summer, something that can transition from spring into summer that you wear a tank under, either crochet or knit, I'm not sure. That some kind of top with that. So I think that will be lovely. So I have 4 skeins of that. And each skein is a 50-gram skein. And how many? Oh, it's 130 meters, 142 yards, each of these skeins. Okay, so that will become some sort of, although in LA here we can wear it almost all year round. I'd say it's a little chilly now, and as you see I'm wearing a sweater, and no, I did not make it. I found this on sale and I thought it was cute, and I'm not good at intarsia, so I thought I would, you know, just someone else can make it for me and I'll just buy it. You may have seen this on my Instagram feed. This is by Rowan. It is called the Daisy. It's a daisy hat pattern. It is knit flat, however, you can easily make it in the round, but I did follow the pattern instructions and I knit it flat because I haven't knit a flat hat since I think I learned to knit 10 years ago. So, well, my hair's up in a clip, so you really can't see, but there's the hat. I'll insert a picture that I posted on Instagram. This is using big wool, Rowan's big wool. And actually, Denise Bayron, she has a sweater or cardigan that she used big wool. So you may want to check that out. If maybe I'll insert a picture up here too. She used big wool for this project, and this wool is amazing. This yarn is really amazing. So Big Wool by Rowan. And the pattern, right, the hat pattern. Oh, it's super easy. I think I knit this hat up. I was up early one morning. I was still on New York time, so I think I was up at 4:30 in the morning. So I thought, well, I'll make my coffee and I'll start knitting. And this was still sitting on the counter because I had come home the night before. So I thought, I'll start knitting. So I did. And so it's so easy. And the pattern is by Quail Studio. And you use like size 15 needles. And so it goes super fast. So you can knit this up. I am not a super fast knitter. I'd say medium speed maybe. And I think I made this, I didn't do it straight through, but you know, because I'd stop and then my husband got up eventually and I made him coffee and blah, 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 and the dogs and feed the dogs. But I think in total it was 2.5 hours, you guys. So check that pattern out. And Rowan's Big Wool yarn. Oh, you guys, you know what I love about this pattern? You know how sometimes if you're knitting the round, you're making a pattern, you want to make a cuff, and then the ribbing changes, especially if you carry the ribbing up. So the ribbing here in the cuff that you've turned up is different than the ribbing once you get up into the cap of the hat. Well, this is designed in such a way that when you turn up, I'll get close so you can see it. When you turn up the cuff, the ribbing continues all the way up. I love that about this pattern. So check it out. I am almost, I think I have maybe 4 more pattern repeats in this purple section, but this is what I have so far. And again, I am using Apple Fibers yarn, and I have to say, this colorway, this amethyst, I just, you guys, I can't even. I love this colorway. I may have to get more of it. It's so beautiful, and it has a little bling and a little sparkle, but it's very pretty. And of course, it looks stunning with this sort of tealish color. So that's where I'm at with Crochet Luna's Encanto wrap. You guys, super easy pattern. I bought from watching Fruity Knitting. Oh yeah, I met them in person too. And how stupid, I didn't even take a picture with them. Ugh. We chatted briefly and I took a picture of them working, but then I saw them like the next day and I went up and said hello and introduced myself and they were very gracious. And how stupid, right? I said, and I'm not good with selfies and I always look terrible in selfies, so maybe that's why I forget to take selfies. I really have to learn that skill better. But let me show you. So Fruity Knitting, they had on their show episodes ago Millpost yarns, which is fiber out of Australia. And I bought the yarn months ago. And the yarn is 100% superfine merino, and I bought the DK weight yarn, 8-ply. So I thought, oh, this will be really plump and round and lovely for some cable work. Actually, I have a skein here I was going to show you, but it's behind my gecko. This project is in my town bag, and now with all my new pins, I have to put this up. Oh, although, you know what? Was it at Nitty City or where did I see it? I would love to have a denim apron where I could put all my pins on it. Someone had that and I said, oh, what a great place to display all your pins. So you can have all of them on show if you go to an event, and then there they are. So the pattern I am making is called The Lyndon by Amy Miller. Let me find a picture. Okay, it's The Lyndon by Amy Miller. I know it's hard to tell with the black and white. So I should really have a table set up and, oh, my dog is barking. Actually, it's my cell phone. My cell phone is a barking dog. So this Millpost yarn here's the yarn's label, Millpost yarn. And Millpost strives to be a sustainable farm. And so this is, it's called Sustainable, and it is so, so soft. I love it. And of course, what color did I get? You know, I'm always like, this one is actually called Sea Blue. But here is the pattern. So here's what I've got so far. I want to try to get really close so you guys can see the stitch definition. And as I am wont to do, I did some modifications. I just didn't feel like doing another 1x1 ribbing for the bottom, the hem. So I changed that up. And I also changed, there's a pattern that should be here and here. I changed that up. Why? Because I was too lazy to try to keep track of what I was doing here versus here, because these are also similar. You know, I don't know. I was just, and I thought, oh, I'm going to do some, make life a little easier on myself. But so far, I love the pattern. I can't say enough wonderful things about this yarn. It feels like, almost like there's cashmere or something in it. It's so beautiful. And it's an 8-ply. As I said, it's very plump. And, oh, do you know what I do? Why is that little stitch marker, the large stitch marker there? I have not yet learned how to stitch without a cable needle. And depending upon what I'm doing, I don't always like a cable needle. So I actually, because there are not that many stitches to the cable that I have to move either to the front or the back, I found that if I just move my stitches with this stitch marker and clip it, move it to the front or the back, and then I just slip them very easily back onto the needle, that's how I do my cabling. Now, some of you might think, oh my gosh, that must take you so much time. It really slows you down. Because I've done this for a while now, I mean, maybe it slows me down. I'm not sure. I've tried stitching without a cable needle, and because I have, you know, dropped a stitch and then I've got to try to pick it up, that takes me longer. So this method for me seems to work. I know maybe you guys have your own little tricks that you do cabling. Excuse me. But that's what I do. So I find, you know, if you've got just a few stitches and you don't want to use a big cable needle, this, you know, this jumbo stitch marker works really well. So that is where I am. This is the back of the garment. A friend, I'm in a knitting group locally, and she became a grandmother maybe 8 months ago. So she's been knitting a lot of baby garments. And she is knitting a little, it almost looks like those thermal tees, like a Henley. It sort of has that feel to it. I'll show you in a second. So I decided, well, we're meeting tomorrow. Today is Thursday. We're meeting tomorrow, Friday, for our knitting group, and I need something that's fairly easy to work on. Again, I can't do my cables because I may I'll make a mess of it. And then where will I be? Frogging back and re-knitting. So I decided, you know what? I do have a great nephew who is 6 months old now. So I'm going to make one of those Henleys as well. And it'll be a fast knit, very satisfying. Let me show you that. There is the, and I got this from this book. And I saw that the pattern is not available on Ravelry. So in case any of you are interested. But the book has a lot of beautiful, on the back, the book has a lot of beautiful garments for little ones. Oops. And I believe they're all made with DK weight yarn. So I started mine, and so here's where I'm at. So that'll be an easy knit for knitting club. Oh, and the yarn, what yarn am I using? Oh, the yarn. The yarn I'm using is Fiber Space DK. And it's green, there's a little blue and sort of a goldish or yellow hint, sort of varying shades of green. And the colorway is called Survey Says. Oh, this is the Vivacious DK 100% superwash merino wool. It is called Sea Green is the colorway. I bought it a long time ago and I didn't know what to do with it, and I just, you know, when you find great yarn on sale and you just buy it and it hangs out until you figure out a project for it. So that is that. And I think, oh my gosh, you guys, at VKL, Christy and I were running around and we saw a sweater, the Sorrel sweater. Oh my gosh, you guys, you gotta check it out. You've probably seen it. I saw on an Instagram feed, I don't know, a couple weeks ago maybe, or a month, whenever it was released. I said, oh God, I have to make that. That is so fabulous. Renee from Spun Right Rounds was in the booth and said you can either make the garment one color and use one colorway and use a different mohair because you're combining holding two yarns together throughout, which you guys know I love doing. So this project is right up my alley. And you can also fade it. And so I was looking through all my yarns, my fingering weights, and my mohairs, and I don't have enough of anything for a fade. Actually, I don't even have enough to make even enough yardage to make a solid color or a semi-solid. And I don't have enough mohair in the, you know, a color. Anyway, so that means aside from all the little goodies I bought at VKL, it looks like I'm going to have to go shopping again so that I can make the Sorrel sweater. It is so, so great. Hey. So, yeah, so check out the Sorrel, Sorrel sweater on Ravelry. It is just, it's a stunning sweater. And the yoke part, you know, you do the yoke, and I watched, there's a video tutorial on how to do this one stitch, and I looked at that this morning, I watched it, and I think it looks easy enough to do, but it gives this great texture and element to the yoke of the sweater, so it's really great, really a great pattern. And with the video tutorial help, thank you so much. Then I also, Cailin Hunter was at the Mayak event and she had on a tunic and it's called, I'm not sure, Galisteo. Galisteo, I'm not sure what the pronunciation is, but here, let's see if you guys can see that. And I saw it on, I think maybe on her Instagram feed a week ago. So pretty. But when you see it in person, oh my gosh, it was just stunning. So that's another one on my list. Now I have to get yarn for that as well. Oh, you guys, I didn't show you all of my haul. I forgot about my Mayak purchase. I forgot to actually show you the yarn from Mayak that I purchased for the silver lining Jennifer Steingass. Here's the pattern. Is that focusing? That is the pattern. So since I have worked with Mayak before and is so lovely, you guys, how pathetic am I? I'm going with all these wonderful blues, but I also have a lot of pinks. So I think my Sorrel, I might do that one in like a flashy pink. Or, because I love that Apple Fiber Studio. Is it called Apple Fiber Studio or just Apple Fiber Yarns? That amethyst color, wow. That would be a really beautiful Sorrel as well. So the Mayak, this color is called Petrol. It is a lovely blue. So that's my main body, and the contrasting color, I'm actually going with the same, is this oatmeal? This is oatmeal, and oh gosh, I think I have oatmeal left over. Oh well, I can always use the yarn. So this is oatmeal, and that will be the color portion of the sweater. And actually these, one of the samples was done up in these two. And I decided to go with that because of course I have to have my blues. And so that is my haul from Mayak. If you guys haven't tried the Mayak yarn, it's really, really soft. It also is a non-superwash yarn. I mean, it is not a non-superwash. It's non-superwash yarn. And I think some people think that's, and I guess some non-superwash or natural fibers can be a bit scratchy. And I have to say, the Mayak yarn is not scratchy in any way, shape, or form. It is so smooth against your skin. You don't need to wear a tee underneath it, although you can, and I do, because I like to have the tee hanging out at the bottom, but you don't have to. It's very soft. And also that Millpost yarn, same thing. Super, super soft against the skin, so it's so lovely. Okay, I think that about does it for me today. I thank you so much to all of you who came up and said hello. And if by chance I forgot to mention your name, I tried to mention names today. If I didn't, I apologize. I deeply am deeply sorry. I tried to remember everyone's names, and hopefully I did. And if not, then clunk me on the head the next time you see me and just say, hey, you forgot. Like Tanya, I almost forgot you, right? But then I remembered. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Hello to my new subscribers. Thank you so much to everyone who encourages me to record these podcasts that inspire me in my knitting adventures and my crochet adventures. If you are having a bit of a struggle emotionally or physically, I hope that maybe we in the fiber community who podcast, I hope we bring a little light. I hope we bring a little ray of sunshine into a tough day. Okay? Thanks for watching, everybody. See you soon. Bye.